Alrighty. Welcome everyone to another episode of The 12, our epic campaign of discovery and adventure across the continent of Corvair. This story will stream live on Sundays at 6 p.m. Central here on Javelin Entertainment, and if you missed the last session, you can check it out on the channel page or by clicking the link down in the description.
Last week, the thrilling tale of our daring adventurers carousing through the Azure Sky as they found themselves in more trouble. After the time stop left Boko and Theschault surrounded by guards, they gave themselves up and provided quick answers to the High Windspike Zoldrikh. Surprisingly, the peculiar answers seemed to suggest their innocence, but the High Windspike escorted them to the Oracle to endure a trial of faith regardless. At the Oracle's abode, a shocking revelation awaited our heroes. One of them must make a sacrificial jump out the window. Boko and Clyde engaged in a discussion, with Clyde bargaining for an answer to a burning question as a reward. Upon the Oracle's agreement, Boko immediately took a running leap out the window. Luckily, Clyde's question had a short answer, and the Oracle had a gust of wind to pull Boko back within the Seminary, and gifted him an item of his choice as a reward. He selected the seed from the Tree of Life. Upon some persuasion, the group got the chance to explore the peaceful town of Niathaela, and learned of their culture and community. As most explored this town, Cade sat and talked with Captain Stormfae as the sun began to tuck behind the mountains. With the Steel Condor ready to go, they piled in and traveled back through the gate between the worlds, hearing more about the manifest zones. As Roland examined the various magical items and an incredibly valuable pin-up advertisement, which Clyde was quite interested in. The Condor made it back just to the nest before crashing down, but Willie was ecstatic about the voyage, and the party made their way back into Port Krez, tending to a new prosthetic for Tove, exploring the denizens of the pirate paradise, and exploring the streets. Roland then found himself on the outskirts of the city when a yell called out nearby. What's the source of this cry? Let's tune in and find out.
And so Roland, as you have found your way around the city, kind of navigating the various streets, jumping from group to group, you've ended up on the kind of outer edge where the streets of the city and the buildings fade into more forest and life, where there are trees and streams, and where the rural area, or I guess the natural area, meets up with the urban. And you hear this scream nearby as you watch the shadow of an individual just kind of tossed out beside you, and you hear a whoosh as it lands in a pool nearby. And you look down, and there is an individual just swimming, and your gaze kind of shifts back over, and you see this woman standing there, kind of in a her hair is kind of wet, but she's wearing this long green kind of tunic, and she just is kind of dusting her hands off, and moving up back the bank of this small pool up at the top of this edge here. She kind of looks over at you with an eye and a slight shrug, seeing you, not necessarily you, depending on your current persona, but me. Looks at the entity that is you, and just kind of shrugs. Some people don't know how to mind their own business.
Roland will look at him, look at her, look at him, tip his hat, and keep going.
Roland has an Amazon fetish between this one and Lydia.
And she's not so much just like a and I guess Lydia isn't so much either, but she doesn't seem to be ripped or anything. She seems to be a fair woman with this long red hair, but she kind of goes off to the side, and you can see that there's a small camp there, Roland, as you continue around the edge of this city. Where are you headed? Are you headed back, or are you doing any more exploring, as it is getting close to evening now?
If it is getting close to evening, I will start making my way back, but also I'm going to duck around a corner and just see where this guy who got thrown out goes.
Okay. Go ahead. Are you trying to do this stealthily?
Yes.
All right. Then go ahead and roll me a stealth check. Make sure I got those.
Alrighty. Yeah. First roll of the night, guys. How bad is it going to go?
None, I believe.
Yeah, I had to say
it couldn't go poorly.
Don't worry, it'll go well.
Can I just take the 1 and we move on? For the 4.
Golly.
In some ways, that's even more disappointing, isn't it?
Is it? I mean, 10 is average.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be much worse.
You're gonna fail. Failure spectacularly.
Failure's memorable.
Who said it
Go down
had?
in flames.
That's why I have proficiency in 10 skills.
No.
I
No.
fail so spectacularly.
been in that one.
You even fail at failing spectacularly. With proficiency of 10 skills.
Oh, there's no
It
winning,
just
I'm
hurts
sorry.
a little bit. Oof. Okay.
I just fail. That's all. Not spectacularly, just fail.
So Roland, as you are kind of following this person around, go ahead and make me a perception check as well.
You had to pick the one I wasn't.
Oh, no, that means you're definitely going to get it. Gonna be an average night, y'all.
Okay.
We're gonna have to get Roland another eye. Can we get the Eye of Vecna or something over here?
So on the plus side, this entity just seems quite inebriated, and doesn't seem to be paying attention behind him. And even though there's nowhere that you are kind of easily hiding, you're kind of sticking to corners and edges enough that it is not obvious to certainly to a drunkard. And he's kind of weaving around, and you kind of cut around a corner to keep up with him. And as you kind of come around, you expected him to be here, and he's not. He's at least not along the path that you had expected, and you kind of turn around and kind of look, just kind of gazing down the path behind, and you see a body lying in the middle of the road.
Does the body appear to have a resemblance to the man I was following?
It does from this distance.
Hmm. Sounds like a good time to stop following him.
Not my circus.
I'm gonna...
Loot the body.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I'm gonna step up to him and cast Spare the Dying.
Oh.
Okay, so you take a few steps over down
I'm
this.
wearing someone else's face. Who cares?
Yeah. So
Why'd you have to say it like that?
you're coming from around the corner again. You kind of glance around quickly. You don't see anyone. It's only been maybe 30 seconds, and yet there's no sign of what happened here. And you kind of come around the corner and cast Spare the Dying upon this individual. And okay.
Do I feel the magic take hold, or is it just kind of
You
useless?
kind of look down at him, and as you kind of cast this spell, you see that there is kind of a bit of breath that comes back into him, but he's very weak, and you can now see blood kind of staining the back of his shirt.
Okay. Stabbed in the back. Got it. No one else is around at all.
You can make another perception check if you'd like.
Why not? Let's go for the fantastic fail.
Hey. You used your good eye.
I turn to the right and look.
So you look around, and it's strange. You're not sure if it was by mere coincidence or what was likely something that was more intelligent. But right as you broke off would have been the perfect spot, and it looks like, based on where he fell, that someone had to have been paying attention not only to him but to anyone around him. And as you had broken off, they had immediately struck and left. And looking around, you see no sight of the individual, but you see that there are a number of different wounds on the back, and they seem to be slightly different. Just with this quick look over and kind of scanning around, you do now see an individual kind of walking down. They're still a good ways away from you, but kind of walking down that path that you had come down. Again, you're kind of off to the side, but you see this woman with the red hair that you had seen before. She's now kind of in a vest, has changed, and you can see some of these darkened tattoos across the tops of her shoulders. But she kind of walks by, doesn't seem to be paying too much attention to you, at least at the moment. But you kind of catch this individual as they're not necessarily on a path towards you, but they are slowly getting closer to you.
Okay. Well, so wait, they're coming back towards the body?
So this woman in the red hair, you had seen whenever she had tossed him off kind of this cliff edge into a lower pool. From there, the man had left. Now this woman is coming down the same path that you had come
she
down.
Followed him, and someone... The woman who chucked him out is the one who followed him and is coming up now.
And not necessarily followed him, but she's coming down the path from the edge of the city. It seems to be a main kind of road. You guys are just off of that, where the body kind of is, and so you can kind of see her, again, not necessarily coming towards you, but just coming closer.
I'm going to duck off into an alley and hide and see how she reacts to the body.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check at advantage.
Thank you.
You've got time. I'll throw you a bone.
Oh, 10.
25. It rolled off a 3 though, which would have been a 9.
Yeah, so you get this moment to tuck into this corner of the stone that is just close enough to keep an eye on it, but far enough where you feel pretty confident that you'll be fully concealed. And it takes
side of the alley so I can look this way.
It takes a couple minutes for this woman to get down, and see, as she's walking, she walks straight by and doesn't seem to pay any attention to the body. She just kind of continues on by.
Must be a Tuesday. Okay. All right. Well, then I'll let her pass, and I'll go back to the body and check for like anything unique about the wound. Rifle through his pockets, see if I can find anything identifying.
All right, make me an investigation check.
I'm not saying anything.
Don't worry, I will.
Don't worry, I will.
I should give myself guidance.
Goodness.
You averagely check his pockets.
So you see...
Hang on, I'm changing my name. I'm changing my name.
5 or lower. Yeah, you see on this individual the obvious things. They have a belt around their waist. You see a dagger on one side and a small coin pouch on the other.
And the coin pouch, why not?
Again, you had noticed before that there are numerous wounds across their back, and you can see that they, in some parts, very nearly pierce through the front. So the blade is almost the length of the body, but not quite. So nothing like a sword or saber. These look like more shallow wounds, but very effective. But outside of that, you don't get much indication of anything strange or anything unusual, or anything exciting, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll take his dagger and his coin purse and as a fee for saving his life, and then...
Alright. Inside you find 11 silver and 3 gold.
Ooh, more than I found in the bar fight.
This person is slightly richer than those in the bar fight.
Not anymore.
What you got is priceless.
Was.
Bar fight.
Was.
Okay,
Wow.
and I will up my dagger count. Okay, cool.
Okay. After that, are you making your way back towards the others, or is there anything else you're hoping to accomplish here?
I'll prop him up against a wall and make sure his head isn't like in the gutter so that he drowns after I saved him, but I'll just let him come to.
Okay. Alrighty. And as you make your way back towards meeting with the others, I believe Boko and Theschault and Sindri had been working on a prosthetic leg for Tove. So Boko, if there's anything that you wanted to involve Jasira with at this point.
Yeah, Boko would love to have Jasira there because they talked briefly about how both Boko and Jasira handle souls, but I think watching each other handle them is a little bit more insightful than just talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would love her there just to sort of help set up for the ritual and perhaps give him guidance on how he handles souls. Although these are eel souls, I suppose.
Might be slippery.
And we're still doing this in like the makeshift hospital, right?
Yes. Yep.
Oh. And what was her name? Merkel?
Murgle with a G.
Would she allow us to set up for a ritual in here?
She was just requested to assist with this, or they rather.
Sorry.
No, it's something I have to remember too. So they've kind of stepped back and are there to help facilitate with healing. But this is not someone that they necessarily have an attachment to outside of that they were requested indirectly by you guys to help. So they have no say over what you guys prefer because they know that she is your companion.
So Boko will turn to Jasira and he will say, "This process is very difficult to endure. So I must know for sure. Is this something that Tove would want?"
Would it be like a history or an insight to try to think about all of her interactions with Tove to determine if it is absolutely critical to have two legs? Because I would think it's pretty critical, but
you could put booze in
Did
the
Tove
leg.
ever and her child say, it'd be pretty dope to just have one leg,
I'll
Yeah,
let you
so
make an
like-
insight check if you would like.
okay, that would be super. Because that is advantage.
What's it at advantage from? Just out of curiosity.
Because where is it? Is it bless? Nope, that's the wrong one. Is it? It was one of the one of the palette elf things.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, you gave it to me, so I hope you think it's cool.
I can't remember everything, guys. It's not gonna
There's a
happen.
lot. It's fine.
After creating your whole system, you can't remember everything.
I don't even remember.
Ooh, I didn't know I
anything in the
gave you
OG
that.
system.
That's cool.
Okay, yeah. So, Jasira, as Boko inquires about this, you have this moment of thought, and it's strange because there's a combination of perspectives that you consider here. There's the Tove that you know and have traveled with, which is a companion, and that you know has some certain perspectives and personality that have come out at different times. But there's also the perspective of the clan or tribe that she grew up in that you knew, at least in some regard. Understanding that, you don't think that there is anything innately wrong from her perspective with having some sort of prosthetic. What gets a bit more gray is the utilization of souls in the process. Now these are just eels, and so it's a caveat that you certainly don't share any problem with. But how she's going to react to that, it's something that you should at least be aware of. Not necessarily, you don't necessarily know what side she tends towards, but it's something that that you understand could be a considerable point of importance, especially to those from your shared background.
Just to make sure I understand, so the issue isn't necessarily eels, but it's the souls that are going into it, or is it the eel?
Yeah, the issue is more just the fact that it's utilizing soul magic in some way.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
you're not sure how she's going to react to that.
That is fair. That's silly neutral people. You know? We're interesting. Yeah, so she will take that moment just to kind of process, reflect on every interaction she's had with Tove. And she'll just kind of softly say, the prosthetic itself is fine. I, however, am unsure how she will feel about our process to get the prosthetic. I think her abilities will benefit from having a second leg. But she may not be thrilled afterwards about the souls.
Boko will sort of nod. I can perhaps create something in the interim that she can use. But attaching that will be far more painful because it is not using magic.
Has Tove just been out this entire time?
Yeah, she basically entered a coma during the trauma, and according to Murgle, her fever has broken and she's kind of stabilized, but she has yet to regain consciousness.
Would we be able to put the prosthetic on while she's under? Or out?
I can do it now. But she will still feel everything. I will leave this decision to you.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Not so excitedly, but
Yes.
yeah, let's give it a shot.
I will need you to hold her arms and her legs. And Theschault as well.
Certainly can. And she'll kind of take her position.
And at this point, you hear the voice of Murgle behind you. If I may, I could be of some assistance here. If it
Boko
were.
will look at her reverently and sort of nod.
And with a hand, they kind of extend forward and begin to incant this magic. And you see as it takes hold over Tove, and it seems to be in essence, a hold person, paralyzing the body to try and remove as much pain as possible while also holding her steady and in stationary.
And so are we putting on the incorporated prosthetic, or are we just giving her something to walk on? Just to make sure I'm doing the right thing here.
Just
Full beans?
I took the gamble with the souls. I think the souls least pain was the better trade.
Okay, we're going.
Because obviously that's something that she's more comfortable with, and even if Tove isn't, she thinks she can hopefully make her feel more confident. So, yeah, full beans.
So, as they're sort of, as Merkel is holding the magic, and Jasira and Theschault are on either side getting ready, Boko's going to walk around and just start lighting incense around her, creating this circle around the bed that encapsulates all of us. And as he sets down, he begins taking these vines that he's collected, or he unwraps the wound. And then, what kind of shape is this wound in? How is Merkel?
So it was originally bitten off and it was very jagged. And Merkel has kind of sealed the wound, and so it looks to be sewn shut, and kind of has that flesh pulled together almost in a knot.
Boko is going to pull his knife out and sort of align the joint mechanism just below that opening. And he's going to begin laying these vines along the mechanism. And he's going to look over to Merkel and nod that he's ready for the spell. And look at both Jasira and Theschault. He's going to withdraw the knife and with trained precision jam it down into the bone and pull it along, just flaying the whole thing open. And as he jams the prosthetic up into it, you see this purple magic begin to spark at his fingertips as he reaches in, grabbing the bone. And immediately, one of the eels, its life force is extinguished, and you watch as this wispy spirit wraps around Boko's arm and travels down into the bone, forcing the bone to grow through the mechanism. And then simultaneously, with his other hand, he just squeezes the other eel, squeezes the life from it as it wraps into the vines that begin to course their way up Tove's leg. And in almost a flash, it's done. There's this almost root ball, but it's slightly greener, that is sitting at the end of Tove's foot. But within it, in between these sort of gnarled vines, there is a glinting of silver. As incorporated within the mechanism is that single dagger that Roland and Boko bought at the shop. Boko looks over to you for a moment. He nods. It is done for now. But this is something that will take some time to get used to. And I imagine keeping Tove asleep for some time will do well to help with the pain that she is probably in.
I agree.
Boko's going to stand up and walk around and just put out the candles and the incense. And he stops sort of by Jasira's side, says, "Spend some time here with her. I would love to speak to her when she wakes, if she would have me. And when you are ready, I would love to hear what you have to say about the usage of the souls and how it differs from what you do." Boko's going to turn and he's going to start walking for the door.
As you do, Clyde kicks open the door. Hey, there's a wait at the stall, but I got the snacks for the long surgery. When we gonna start?
We did.
Wait. Alright?
It's done.
Well, congratulations. Clyde's going to give you whatever sort of sandwich they were selling on the side stall for a copper.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
Boko is going to lean down to Clyde and he's just going to say, Tove is in quite a lot of pain, I can imagine. If there's anything you can do to relieve it, I'm sure it would be appreciated.
Clyde's going to pull out his flash. I got just a thing.
And do not do the thing with her eye, please.
Yeah.
Well, if she drinks a lot, it might just take memory away. That's what it does. But I think I got enough stored up.
Fantastic, thank you. And Boko's going to step out of the room, go try to find a quiet, secluded place to reflect.
Okay. And Clyde, as you dip and give this drink to Tove, her body, it's strange. It's conscious and it reacts and it nearly drinks, but it doesn't seem to be aware. Certainly not in the same way. And in the same time, Roland, were you here for this or were you elsewhere?
I was probably still touring the city, and I'm getting back right after this.
Right. And Boko, as you find a quiet place to reflect, and Roland, you return eventually. Theschault and Clyde and Jasira are there. The evening has come. The sun has started to set, and the rays of that orange are reaching over and cascading different shadows across the large stone foundations and the strange architecture of this place. Is there anything that you all are doing before you try to find somewhere to rest?
Jasira plans to stay in the room with Tove. She can meditate in a chair or on the floor, but she won't let her stay alone.
Alright, so you stay with Tove that evening and keep a close, careful watch, doing your trance. What about the others?
Roland is going to go looking for people to talk to and about what he just saw. And Boko is off on his own. Jasira is sitting with Tove, and for the sake of Colleen not being present, we'll say Cade is unavailable.
Cade has gone off to she has gone off
Okay.
with a purpose. Though we'll get to that whenever she gets here. But she had wanted to meet with Iz.
Anyways, that Roland will find Clyde then, and just be like, Clyde,
Yeah?
you
What's
should
up with
probably know so that you can keep your eyes out.
Yeah, I guess two's better than one.
He shoots you a dirty look. Fair.
What are we looking for?
It works just fine with an optic. You don't need depth perception for long distance shots. Anyways.
Take your word for it.
You do to be good at them. Sorry.
All right. I'll stop busting you. What is it? You look like you saw someone die or something.
Close enough.
Anyone we know?
No one we know. Just there is... We're in a city of pirates, obviously, so there's going to be criminals here. But there seems to be a much more organized sort working against the established order, which is always a disruptive influence even in a city full of pirates.
Well, if there was a time, this whole, what is it, Cade and Captain been talking about, the meat or whatever, the
big vote.
Yeah, it'd be a time for it.
It would, but just to kind of give you a heads up to keep an eye out, and an ear out.
Nope. All right.
And he'll walk him through what he saw of guy got tossed out a window, he got curious, followed him, and he loses him around a corner for 5 seconds and rounds the corner and the guy's dead.
Well, I mean,
half dead.
Thing is, what
Mostly dead. There's a big difference between...
You left him, he was only mostly dead.
See, mostly dead is slightly alive. All dead. Well, if all dead, there's usually only one thing you can do.
Oh, is there anything distinguishing about him?
Nope, unless this very commonplace looking dagger tells you anything.
Nah. Looks kind of junky, actually.
Yeah. Figure it'd be good for throwing once or twice.
Ooh, you might want to stick with stabbing. Well, anyway.
How about with that level of confidence you serve as my target? I'll be sure to miss.
I haven't had nearly enough drinks tonight. But you say you saw a man get tossed out the tavern. We want any more information. Seems like we gotta go to the tavern.
That's fair.
He didn't get tossed out of a tavern. He got tossed off a cliff by a woman.
Oh.
I don't know where you heard the tavern, but...
I don't know where he heard it either, but I went along with it because it sounded confident.
Yeah, the woman with
Maybe
the red hair
at the top of the cliff.
chucked him off of the cliff down into
That's
a lower
just Clyde
pool.
trying to work you into going to the tavern.
If you want to go to a tavern, I'll go to a tavern with you. It was profitable last time.
Well, sure, if we're going to try and gather any info, it's going to be the best place. At least start. Den of pirates. Nothing like alcohol, loose lips.
Yeah, very fair. So, just before we go, are you planning on, doing any sort of performance?
I ain't gonna spit in nobody's face unless they ask for it. Like he did.
Okay, but even if they ask for it, I'm not the best at fistfights.
I'm sure you'll do just fine.
Roland kind of looks down at his own body and then looks at Clyde's and goes, yeah, I could probably beat you. Let's go.
We're gonna go find. Probably we want kind of probably a rowdy tavern, I would think.
We want a dive bar.
Yeah.
So there are a couple different holes in the wall that are more secluded, but pretty much 90% of the interaction go through the main central tavern, which is Caps, or the captain's daughter.
All right, let's go looking for the other 10%.
Okay. So as you
because
guys,
I know you haven't prepared a CD dive bar.
oh please, I have prepared everything in this city.
I think since they're actually going to do something, what Boko's going to do for the night, just to get him off the table, is he's going to go prepare himself for a morning ritual, because I don't think he wants to see what the spirits think or how they react to him using that power in that way again. But he's putting it off until the morning because he's nervous.
All right. So you're going off to just kind of find a quiet spot to get that rest and have the ritual in the morning?
Yeah. He's going to meditate and reflect and then rest and then handle that in the morning. That's a future Boko problem.
All right. Fair enough. Then for Clyde and Roland, as you all go searching, it is not terribly difficult to find these gathering places, especially in the evening, as there are calls and indications of all sorts of drinking spots within the city. And you guys find kind of one of these corner ones between the alleys, and come in, and it is indeed a seedy location. There's no even name that is broadly displayed on this one. There are just a handful of sailors eating within, and you also see kind of on the back there is this wooden target, and you just hear the thum, thum of daggers being thrown into this wooden target. And you catch sight of this kind of cloaked figure, and just in a speedy whirl, there's just a handful of daggers that flies into the target, and they go and retrieve them, kind of taking the steps back and doing the same.
Hey, they got your game here. Clyde's gonna pat Roland's back.
What better place to practice?
Well, I don't think we're gonna find a more perfect place. You?
Nope.
Alright.
Can I buy you a drink?
Ooh. Good stuff at bottom shelf.
One of the good stuff.
Oh, big spender.
I recently came into some coin.
Alright, I guess we're gonna...
And he'll twirl the dagger that he took off of the guy.
Ah. Right.
So, what are you guys going to get a drink, or?
Yes, we're gonna grab a drink, and then I'll let Clyde do his talking stuff while he's got a drink in his hand, because everyone's more willing to talk to someone who already has a drink in their hand.
Clyde has talked Roland into giving him top shelf liquor. Clyde has already won tonight, everybody. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
Also though, Clyde stated that he needed more drinks in order to stand in front of the target board.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh.
yeah, for 5 silver, you guys get a couple of top shelf whiskeys that are heavy hitters. And if you could both roll me some Constitution saves as you pass your way through these.
Clyde said there's no better place to practice. And boy, does Roland need practice.
Are these just flat, or are they at advantage because they're the first one?
These are at advantage, thank you, yes.
Okay.
These are indeed the first one.
Not that Clyde needed it. Thank you for burning my luck.
This is not Clyde's first rodeo.
Clyde downs 2, no problem.
And like Clyde is in his perfectly natural habitat of drinking at a dive bar, they go down without a problem. And Roland, you think you're handling it well, and yet Clyde looks as fresh as a daisy, and you know that even you have signs of the redness starting to come into your face.
Ah, wow, that was some good stuff now, wasn't it? Now, who we gonna talk to? And Clyde, can we do some perception checks just to see who else is in this dive bar?
Yeah,
besides,
go for it.
Knife and McStab face. Oh, yeah.
It's Knifey McStab face is who there is.
Clyde's got the shot glasses over his eyes.
Roland, you see about 6 individuals in this bar. Clyde, you are focused on this individual throwing knives, and you can see that it's actually a feminine shape between the edges of the cloak. It has to be a female. But Roland, you're looking around. You see about maybe 3 sailors at the bar with you. One's kind of off in the corner admiring Stabby McStab face's dagger throws.
Knifey McStab face.
Sorry, Knifey McStab face. Sorry, Dagger McStab face.
Oh, there we go. Dag for short.
But there is this large bartender with an eye patched and kind of that stubble across his face. He's easily 250 pounds just behind the bar, hand dishing out the drinks.
With an eye patch, you say? Which eye?
Right.
Damn it.
Daring contest.
But yes, it is not a well-populated bar. Again, this is the 10%, so there's only a few individuals here.
Well, there is only one person in here worth talking to, and that is them. Clyde's gonna start walking over towards Dagger McStabface.
This is the moment where Roland is like going like, "That's right, there is," and then they both point, and Roland is going to the bartender, and Clyde is going to Dag McStab.
Clyde hops off the stool.
All right, so
I'll
Roland,
go ahead
you
and follow Clyde and see if I can engage in a game of daggers while Clyde is talking her up, and see if maybe the two of us tag teaming can keep her distracted enough that she'll let something slip.
All right, so Clyde, you go and cross Roland, and you two, Roland kind of twists around as he follows after you, and you both approach closer to this individual, who begins to clearly kind of catch your notice and has had kind of an eye on your direction since you guys had kind of walked in, but now walking up to this individual, you see that they're again, it's not necessarily cloaked, but it's similar to a cloak that is kind of wrapped around this body, this dark fabric that kind of has a hood over top of the head, and is wrapped around the body, and you can see multiple daggers being thrown into the board still. Clyde, what are you saying?
Clyde is going to go up to the admirer. Now, I ain't seen skills like that in a long while, but he's definitely saying it loud enough for Dagger McStabface to hear.
All right. Sorry, would you like to repeat that once?
No.
Can you repeat that once?
Gonna go up to the admirer and be like, well, ain't seen skills like that in a long while. Ain't they impressive?
They look at you. I'd say they're pretty impressive. Greta, you got something to say for yourself?
I can let the knives do the talking. Do you care for a game?
Well, I ain't too skilled throwing, but I ain't afraid to try my hand. But if you want to try someone real skilled, Clyde's gonna slap Roland's back and try this guy.
So he reaches to about right here and slaps.
Yep.
It's hard to get with a trench coat.
And Sam, if you would like to go ahead and describe your character as she steps up to the challenge.
It's like Roland said he wasn't prepared. He had a whole real person.
So I think you got a basic description already, but what you see is a human, fairly short, dark hair, darkish skin, and you can see she's holding two knives, and there are multiple places where there could be others. It's possible.
Is Roland still flipping his one stolen dagger?
He's kind of twirling it around. He's ready for a game, but there are also multiple places on him where knives could be hidden.
Well, that's respectable.
Indeed.
Can she do a perception check and try and guess how many knives he has on him?
Yes, absolutely. I just sent you the link to hop into the game. So as soon as you get in, I'll give you access to your sheet, and then you can roll your check.
You want any kind of contested roll to either inflate or deflate that number?
Like it would do anything but deflate that number.
Fair. I have proficiency in sleight of hand.
It's actually one knife. You've just moved it around really quickly.
The finger guns in the pocket.
All right. launching game, and I'll go follow that video link.
Cool. I'll give you access as you get in here.
Good girl, Mabel.
You want me to do no audio from the camera link?
Yes. Yeah, you can just mute yourself there. Otherwise, you'll come in double.
Yeah.
There you are. Alright, and you should have access to the sheet. So you can roll that perception as soon as you're ready.
Gonna come out of the gate with a nat 20, isn't it?
I hope so.
Roland is going to be getting out.
That'd be a good intro.
I kind of hope so too.
No, tonight, 10.
Pretty damn close.
Pretty close. Whew. Yeah.
I have precisely 3 daggers on me. The one in my hand and then 2 scout style in the back of the belt. And a short sword hung on the left hip.
Not bad.
And of course the big ass rifle on his back with technically a 4th dagger. Technically a 4th dagger strapped to it as a bayonet. I have 4 daggers, guys.
To be fair, that rifle is gathering dust.
To be fair, not the butt of it because it makes frequent contact with Boko's face.
That is true. That is true.
And so with that, are you guys accepting a knife throwing challenge here?
Oh, absolutely.
So you guys, Roland, are you stepping up first?
I mean, Clyde was the one who initially...
I got this. Oh,
God.
Hey, bro, can I borrow a dagger?
Here,
hand him
I've
the
got one.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch your name. You think it was Frida?
Creda.
Great.
And you?
Well, I'm Clyde. This here's Roland.
I don't think I've seen either of you here before.
I hope not. I think it's the first time, right?
Yep, second.
Is it?
Huh.
Yeah, we came here to get on the...
That was like a day trip. It don't count.
Thingy.
Oh, I thought Roland was about to drop some lore on us from being at Port Krez before.
Too warm for my taste.
Oh, right. Well, I'm gonna actually put over a dagger in my inventory.
Hey, I want that back.
No, it ain't yours. Crate over here and let me borrow hers.
Right.
I have a few to spare.
Can you ever actually spare a dagger, though? Or do you always want it on you?
Suppose that depends on the dagger. Do you attach importance to the weapons you carry? Or do you just pick them up as convenient?
Depends on the weapon.
Depends on if I've had time to form connection. I had a real good connection with my wagon. That got taken from me.
Life's a constant stream of change.
Yeah, sure is, especially when freaking tentacle spaceships grab you. No. So, anyway, I'm gonna throw this
right
dagger.
up with the sky hentai, I see.
Nah. Well, if I can ever actually remember how to get an item into my... There we go. I'm gonna click this button.
Oh my god. You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Clyde does the best when he's tipsy, man. He just grabs the dagger, flips it over the tip, and Tunk right into the center.
Good guy.
It's
Clyde's
that
gonna be
top shelf
drinking
liquor.
free all night.
You're welcome, Clyde.
I'm having so much fun tonight, guys.
To be fair, that is a very well-made dagger.
Yeah, no. I think it's a little bit of your skill rubbing off on me. Well, now that I've done that, Roland, you want to make any bets?
Once Roland picks his jaw up off the floor.
Considering that he has the same bonus to attack with the dagger that I do, yes. No, Roland will smile and just go, yeah, I only gamble with my life, not my money.
A friendly game, then.
So Krita,
turn?
yeah, if you wanna take an attack, go for it. You can roll one of your daggers.
Oh my god!
They are good daggers.
Thank God, it's a temporary character.
Oh!
Come on, Roland, it's your turn.
Yeah, this is not quite the Robin Hood split down the middle, but it goes right next to the other one. The blades are a hair's width apart, and hers is just ever so slightly more center. Both of them were bullseyes, but it was clear that somehow she still came out on top.
I bow forth, master. Come on, Roland.
Weirdly, the skilled ones are already competing.
No, how about that?
Oh.
Use the big old.
You have neither money nor life on the line. What's the harm?
Here.
My
No, if
dignity,
you miss, you
what
gotta
little is
buy
left.
me another round.
And if I hit,
I'll buy you a round. How's that?
I have the money for another round, and you'll pull out the dagger you stole and just fling it.
Yes.
Hmm.
This is going on the
Probably
counter.
the dagger's fault.
It is.
Where did you get that?
I found
I would
it on the
not
street.
return.
Yeah, and just for a quick narrative here, as this dagger is thrown, there's a good considerable portion of the target that is blocked by two full-size daggers already, and this one just clangs straight into the hilt of the other two and just kind of splits apart at the hilt. The blade goes to one side, and one of the sailors has to kind of like move over to avoid it, and the hilt kind of clatters into the wall.
You found a dagger? On these streets?
You'd be surprised what you can find if you know where to look.
I know where to look, and there's not a lot that surprises me in this city. People don't leave their weapons around if they can use them.
But if they can't use them,
Can't use that one.
Yes. Yes. For many reasons, I
apparently
suspect.
no one can use that particular one because, whew.
No. Clearly an inferior dagger.
Yep, I will remove it from my inventory.
No, what you gotta do is type inferior dagger and then put a line through it. Strike
it.
through text.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That is what we are doing. Inferior dagger.
That one is going on the miss counter. For sure.
That one's. Oh, that whole situation beautiful.
I just like the 4 natural 20s that burned the luck for the next 4 sessions.
Worth it. Clyde has never felt more powerful than this moment.
I will retrieve my dagger and it will disappear somewhere in one of my pockets.
Are you retrieving both of them?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and
If
then
you'd like to play another round, I can supply a dagger in place of the one that was less than functional.
What? I got a better option. Roland over here is already buying a round. I'll add another round. We can all talk. Still throw daggers. Maybe Roland might need to borrow one. I don't know if we should trust any of his.
My daggers work very well, as I proved with the bear.
You tell that to that man over there you almost cut.
What did my dagger?
You know what? You should buy him a round.
Agree.
Fuck it.
He tips his back. I'm fresh empty.
You already burned the one round of top shelf, though. And you'll walk back and basically just buy a round of the house drink. Whatever the standard one is, and he'll buy 1, 2, he'll buy 3.
Clyde will buy 3, or 4,
Right.
The admirer of the top shelf whiskey for the group that's going to be talking, just to force us to make another con save.
All right, a gold from Clyde, and
Yep,
5
yep,
coppers
worth
from, 3 coppers from Roland.
Alright, I will make change from a silver.
Pretty sure that gold was made from alcohol. No, it was spent on alcohol.
As it should be.
The circle of life.
But yes, please feel free to chat, and when it gets appropriate, I'll have you guys roll another con save.
All right. So, you saying you're a native of these places? Not much gets past you?
Native, no. But I have been here for a while.
Well, you like it? You've been here a while. A little unruly, but that can be fun.
It has its ups and downs, but what place doesn't? And this is your first or second visit? Any reason?
I think 1.5. Well, we're traveling, I think. Roland? Or, no, we were here for the meeting for these captains, and we're supposed to go somewhere. Really, the ones in charge of where we're going are talking, and we're kind of on our own for the evening.
Just back after a long trip.
Yeah, unexpected.
Very unexpected. But the captain has her ways.
The captain?
Yes.
Which
Captain Cade.
captain?
Mm-hmm.
Best cap serve under.
And
lift his drink.
Krita, this name of Cade doesn't ring a bell for you.
Okay, I was going back
Yeah.
to double check, but I didn't think so. Interesting. So, you are part of a crew?
Several.
Well, really one that was more impromptu, that got folded into another one. But now I think we're working with our captain's not mom.
Definitely not mom. Definitely not mom.
They're a bit shy about it. Doesn't seem real healthy to me, but each their own.
I see. I don't see. But I hope you are
Neither. It's
enjoying
a common
your time
thing,
in
and
our
he'll
city.
gesture to his missing eye. Or the eye patch, rather, since he has
Wow.
that now. Anyways, I believe the phrase is enough about us.
So, you are the new faces here. You're bound to be the more interesting to talk to. But you have answered a question, so what would you like to know?
Well, I've been hearing these are pretty problematic times with all this picking with the captains and they get their areas. Is there anyone we should really be watching out for? Any fights we should not be picking?
As new faces in town, you probably ought.
I should have returned. Hopefully.
I think it's back up.
Cool. Sorry, you guys should be good to go.
Well,
As new faces, you won't be targeted unless you make yourself a target.
It probably ain't gonna happen. I ain't been feeling too rowdy from the alcohol tonight.
yeah, definitely haven't been singing any songs to, specifically target certain crews for
Hey.
cowardice.
They deserved it. And I do it again.
You did deserve it. I hope you do not do it again.
See how that goes.
He's going to slide the empty cup in front of Clyde away from him.
All right, another round.
And as the is this the third round, Clyde?
Absolutely.
Okay,
fine.
sure. Is this just for
Roland
the three of
hasn't
you, or?
finished his
Yeah, this is
second
for us.
Yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
one.
the new round comes by. Clyde, go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, please.
Still at advantage because of that double nat 20 on the first one.
Sure.
I'll say, why not? Oh,
Roll 2 more 20s. You're fine.
no.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Still good.
Again, it's starting to affect you just by pure volume, but you're holding it at bay enough to keep
I'm
your
only so
functionalities. Yeah.
Clyde is 10% alcohol by volume.
Oh.
What we got?
But yeah, your functionalities seem to still be mostly functional.
I suppose we're a bit more worried about any crews that might think of taking action outside of the draw to influence the results.
Hmm.
We're not planning to make targets, or make targets of ourselves. Make targets of ourselves, but stuff happens. Trying to stay away
Every
from
day.
anyone who is in the mood for stabbing someone in the back as they're walking down an alley.
The best advice I have for you is to go to bed early.
Did you say go to bed early?
Go to bed early. The cruise.
That actually is good advice.
There are standards. It's understood the way each operates. And it's only messy when people try to get involved and mess up the plans. If everybody keeps to their standards, everybody knows what to expect.
Fair. Suppose we're looking out for anyone who isn't keeping to the standard.
Odd behavior always stands out, as do new faces.
Yeah, so you're telling us it's probably not the best time to be making waves and being new.
How about another game?
If you're trying to play it safe. I agree.
I
Wagers this time.
Too good at that, though.
You don't bet money or life. Do you bet on information?
This is exactly what I was about to suggest. We throw.
I can tell.
The loser gives the truth. Or takes a drink.
Aren't we a little old for truth or dare?
This is different. This is truth or drink.
With
And
knives.
he will reach behind his back and pull out one of his other daggers that is much better made than the one he found in the street.
May I? I would just like to see it. I have an interest.
He'll hand it over.
This is much better quality. I don't know why you started with the other one.
I wanted to test the other one. I tested it and found it wanting. Time to go back to what I'm used to.
I suppose there's some wisdom in that.
And he'll hold his hand out to receive the dagger back.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you taking the first throw, Roland?
Ladies first.
Very well. I'll pause to consider for a second. I will take a knife out of my left-hand sleeve.
The sleeves. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, just okay.
Ideas.
So she takes a throw seated down, doesn't even stand up to aim, but just tosses one out. And as it hits the target, again, these are very rough shod kind of rings on this piece of old wooden driftwood. But it gives some area for you to beat it, but it's still a good shot.
Me next. I think I got a good question. Wait, but hey, can I borrow a dagger again?
So he's holding one in one hand. He'll just kind of roll his eyes, reach behind his back, pull out a second dagger, flip it around, and hand it to Clyde.
Wrong. I wasn't asking you.
He'll flip it back around and put it back behind his back.
I don't want yours.
And then after that, as whatever Clyde is doing to flirt with this woman, he'll just throw his dagger and miss abysmally. So let's find out how this goes.
Oh, it can't be worse.
It wasn't worse.
It
It was
wasn't
3 times better, actually.
That one's also going on the miss
Good
counter.
attempt. You're improving quickly. And Clyde, was it?
That's right.
This
Do you
dagger
want
from
the same one you had such luck with? Sorry.
You're good. This dagger hits wood, but it's the wood of the bar just to the side of the target.
Do you want the same one you had such luck with last time, or a new one?
Well, I'm always into trying new things. Give me something else. What's up your right sleeve?
Ah, excellent choice. She will pass you a dagger from her right sleeve.
All right.
One does take a bit more skill, though.
Now, Clyde's looking at Roland the entire time he's throwing this knife.
You know, it works better if you're looking at the target.
Sorry, I was channeling my inner you.
Keep in mind, these are the two people that were just talking to you about getting into fights.
And Clyde, Roland missed far left.
This is
Clyde
two people
missed
who are just
far
talking
right.
to you about avoiding fights, and now you know why.
Yes, I do feel markedly relieved. But I believe I get a question.
Yeah,
Was that the game?
according
each
to
of
the
us,
board,
yes.
That's it. What can we answer for you?
Clyde, do you know the name of the ship that you sailed on? With your captain?
Recently? We've been on quite a few ships.
Whatever ship your captain calls her own.
Cade ain't got a ship yet.
You have a captain without a ship.
Well, to be fair, the big tentacled spaceship crashed into her ship.
Steel Condor.
Well, I have many more questions now, but fair is fair. For Roland.
Yes.
Knife you found in the street. If you were a betting man, does its previous owner live on?
Yes. And he will grin a little bit late after saying yeah.
Interesting.
And if you would like to all make me a Constitution save at advantage.
Oh boy.
Like everyone, or everyone involved in this?
Just the 3 people involved in this.
Hey,
Sorry.
solid 10, Clyde.
Okay.
All right.
12% alcohol right now. He's starting to feel it.
All right, and if you all would like to make another round of dagger throws, Clyde, yours will be a disadvantage.
Beautiful. I love it. This night start. This is how his nights at dive bars always go.
This is where Clyde is
brand.
best, though.
There's something to be said for always being able to have a good time, win or lose.
What? I went last time, so I think it's only right I go first. Clyde's gonna go and he's gonna try and throw this.
2 20s.
Hey!
Clyde's like,
yeah, exactly. Right. Like a roll.
Handling it in a roll.
I'm over here seeing double. So I'm just.
The disadvantage of 2
twice the
eyes,
bullseye.
you see double when you're drunk. With 1 eye, you still only see single.
You still can't hit it.
Regardless of the logic, he lands one right on the edge. The first ring outside of the bullseye. A solid throw for a man who's drunk.
Roland just kind of puts his face in his hand. Like, yeah.
It's not too late to ask for one of her daggers.
That's correct.
Don't worry, lad Roland. I'm sure you got this. You can throw that dagger with just 1 eye, I'm sure.
I thought that was going to end with I give him inspiration.
It was.
And then I changed my mind.
Is it?
Yes, it was, but it was very poorly done.
Good old roll 20 taking
have
forever for it to come through.
inspiration.
You can have a D6.
Thank you.
Oh.
And he'll step up and just like he was about to just like sling it, and then he hears the jab from Clyde and just goes, ah, and actually kind of aims a little bit, and here comes the nat 1. It's going to be useless, but. And then
Slowly moving up.
We're getting better.
3
We are
more each
getting
time.
better, folks.
You're moving in the right
Folks,
direction.
he can be taught.
I say you can have a D. Oh.
So 16. I almost beat Clyde. It just goes like.
Yeah.
Yours is on the outside of the first ring.
And just as soon as you let yours go, immediately Karina has one flying out after it, and just another one solidly in the bullseye as you and Clyde's are a good couple inches away.
I feel like this game isn't going to go well for us.
You did see her repeatedly practicing this as you walked in.
It was your suggestion, but I suppose I would play a different game.
Oh, no,
I think we're having lots of fun.
I'm enjoying the game not going well for us.
Well, you.
If you have a passive insight above, like, 6, you can tell he's lying.
If you have a passive insight above 1, you know Clyde is just fucking with you.
It was a natural assumption made upon just hearing the name Clyde.
You should hear about his horse, Dale.
Oh no.
Commitment to the pun.
No one beat anyone to the pun. That is actually his horse's name.
Well, yes, but that horse has been, I think, got left.
With the wagon?
No, different. Well, yeah, his new wagon wasn't as good as his old wagon.
Alright, I'll go gather the daggers, and while I do, how long are you and your captain, or your crew and your captain without a ship in town?
I think until we find a ship, right?
That makes it sound like we're going to take one, Clyde.
Nah, I wasn't planning on that.
I wasn't ready!
What?
Oh my god! Ooh. If you know, you know. If you don't, go watch the stream again.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, can we get an instant replay on stream, please? That was amazing.
It's on a slight delay, so I saw it pop up right after I said what.
Oh, that was beautiful.
We're in town until we can find passage back to the mainland.
Oh, well,
It's amazing.
a town full of ships. That shouldn't be too difficult.
It shouldn't, except for the fact that all of the ships are here to stay until after the draw. Hence our interest in surviving the draw.
Well, yes, Ed. You're new faces. Nobody knows to single you out unless you make yourselves known.
The problem is, we're some of the more, well, we're the quieter bunch.
And that's a problem? Oh, of the rest of your group? How many...
What you talking about?
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to skeeters.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but you say that, but you've seen what Sentry does when he gets mildly perturbed at somebody.
I've
Who
seen
is
what you
Sentry?
do when you get mildly perturbed at somebody. You write a song about them.
He deserved it! You know what? Clyde's gonna start a rendition of this song. He's on the table. You've already got
Definitely
him
want
drunk.
to hear a song.
You've already got him drunk.
Nope. He's pulling that. I'll buy you another round.
Ooh.
I want to hear his song.
No, you don't.
Clyde's waving for another round.
It is brought. For anyone who wants to continue on, they can make me a flat con save.
Roland. Absolutely. No, I think might be at disadvantage.
Yours is, yours is at disadvantage.
Yep, nope, I'm knocking it back. There's no way I'm surviving this night.
God damn, Clyde.
Doing okay, right?
Yeah, you're still.
People-
Solid 10! A solid
Worth
10!
it.
It is up to you if you are partaking with it. All right. So yeah, at this point, all of you are starting to have that perception waver, starting to feel it in your bodies. Clyde, you are full on wasted at this point.
I have an idea. I'm gonna stay in front of the target. Y'all supposed to mist I'm gonna sing that song about that motherfucker made so Tove's legs got long. No, I don't want to hear it.
I'm ready.
Aye. And Clyde's going to start singing his song.
First note, I throw a dagger.
Are you trying to miss?
I'll say, are you
Or
trying
are you trying to aim?
Unfortunately for Clyde, yes, I am trying to miss.
I have a question.
Yep.
If he hits Clyde, does it belong on the miss counter?
Yes. If he's trying to miss and he misses missing, it is still a miss.
This is like misception. I have no idea what to believe anymore.
I'm sorry, Clyde.
do it?
Okay. Okay, am I at disadvantage or was the 10 enough to keep me flat?
No, you are at disadvantage for this.
You, sir, are hammered.
This is over time. It's not like this is one drink giving you disadvantage, but yes, for this one it is a disadvantage.
Yep. Whew. I'm hammered. Clyde's about to get daggered.
That's fine.
Now, does this count as a miss?
Wow. We know what the secret is.
Clyde, you
Amazing.
You are full on expecting this to hit you, and it comes close enough that you can hear it, but it sticks in a good foot to the right of you.
Clyde had started whistling, and then he stops. And then he starts even harder.
Clyde, I'm curious, do you have any lyrics of this song put together?
God, no. I wish I did. If I didn't know, I should do that.
Gotta put together the Crimson Haze diss track.
The name of the ship was the Crimson Haze.
Austin, do I have an idea of what current crews are represented in the people in this bar?
Within this bar, most of the crews do not go to many of the dive bars. It's part of the reason that you are here. Most of them are more kind of sailors that help with the trade, or people who kind of jump from ship to ship. Again, there's like 3 sailors actually in here that you know of, and you have kept tabs well enough. You don't know of any affiliation to any of the crews within these people.
Cool. I'm not overly concerned he's about to be stabbed immediately.
Anyone here?
Except by Roland.
Excellent.
There are daggers flying in his direction. To be fair.
But yeah, as Clyde sings out this jaunty tune, there's a bit of a chuckle from a couple people at the bar. It's much more well received than it was the first time.
Catching on. Alright, Cade, your turn.
Is there a target that's not behind a person's head?
Ah, come on. What's worse gonna happen?
Goodbye, Clyde.
I too will gamble with my own life, but not yours.
That ain't much. I guess Roland's the only one throwing knives at me tonight. I'll move. But I'm gonna take this
I'll throw another.
dagger.
Go ahead and give me another.
No, Clyde turns around to take your dagger from the board and you throw another one.
Yep, go ahead and give me another at disadvantage.
I was more saying like.
No,
as
so
he
Clyde's
left,
hand
so
is
that
almost
he was
flat
actually
against the
on hand.
board.
Go
right
ahead and
now.
make the roll. We'll see what happens.
I apologize.
Oh, why? This is great. Clyde's drunk, he ain't gonna feel it.
Oh no!
Yeah, he don't.
You sure won't feel it.
So as
going on the miss counter.
as Roland throws out the dagger towards the target,
moves into its path.
It's not even that. You would expect in this moment for it to be the cliche, the hand goes out and it goes through the hand. No, it hits the full-on shoulder of Clyde. Like it was a foot to the left of the target, but it goes right into Clyde's shoulder. And go ahead and roll me damage on that one.
Is Clyde aware that this is coming?
Yeah, was he surprised?
No, Clyde's absolutely
roll sneak
surprised.
attack. Roll sneak attack.
Sneak attack is a may.
Yes.
I don't think
it's a
sneak
may or
attack is
can.
intent on a game throwing at a board.
No, he was upset with Clyde. He missed the hard hit.
No. Roland, how was Clyde maimed?
This happens
guys-
every time Clyde goes to a dive bar.
I was trying to miss, and I had a critical fail on missing. Is this a critical hit against Clyde?
No, it's not, but it's close.
Do we have a friendly fire counter somewhere?
I gave all the counter
I'm on
jobs
the
to you.
leaderboard. I'm at the top.
I bet
No, never mind. Theschault wins. Theschault
Are you sure Sindri has
Sure.
smashed some players? He's
We're just gonna have
by
to request.
damage or by number of hits?
We're just gonna have
By
to request they
damage
remove
is
the V.
Sentry. By number of hits is Theschault.
Yeah.
And
I
Roland
don't
is
wanna
second in
talk
both
about it.
categories.
Okay, Clyde
Second best at everything.
immediately
Jack
made
of all
so.
trades.
No, just joking, Roland. Damn it!
The bartender looks around and just, don't let him bleed on my bar.
No, I got this.
And I'll
I got
come
this.
running up, just be like, I got it. And
That's
just
right. Clyde's gonna push
pull the
Roland.
dagger out and be
Hell
like,
no.
you're okay. And as I say, you're okay, cast healing word.
Come on.
Minimum heal.
Nope.
No, I
four.
got this. And Clyde's gonna take a sip from his flask.
Okay.
Look your way.
I'll make a con save. I'm already pulling. It's a disadvantage.
Oh, there goes your eye.
Clyde is mega poisoned. He's drunk. He can't quite see straight. I think I get. I don't even know how much healing I get. Forgot. What is this? 2d4 plus 4. I feel great though. I'm ready for another round.
Yeah.
Oh,
between Roland and Clyde, the wound heals over. And Krita, it's a little bit. You're genuinely concerned for Clyde in a moment because it looked like a pretty bad wound for someone who's untrained, a commoner off the streets. He seems at least hardy enough to take it, and they very quickly heal it, so they have some magical potential. But there was definitely a moment of concern.
All right. I'll move out of the way.
You
All right.
guys don't make enemies here.
No promises. Sindri's good at solving those, though.
Sindri again.
He's a great. Biggest
He's a
little giant I
giant.
ever seen. Anyway, you're up. Clyde's gonna walk back.
Very well. Here, I will pull out 3 daggers for you to inspect. You can pick this time. Which one should I throw?
Is there any visual
left, right,
differences
or
between them?
Ah,
Or is it
One
pick a
from
card,
your-
any card?
So,
I mean-
left sleeve, right sleeve. We'll go with center this time.
center.
Bodice.
Valinor. Excellent.
They have names?
Of course, all good daggers have names.
Still.
So there's a knife in Roland's hand, but the one on the target she just inches it just barely closer to the bullseye. It almost seems like she's trying to, rather than hitting the bullseye, just trying to be as close as possible, but better at this point.
All right, I got this. I got this. Clyde's gonna do this with his eyes shut this time.
Oh no.
You know what? I'm gonna roll a d20 on this one.
Double disadvantage?
No, but it was a natural
Christ.
1.
It's not much better than what Clyde rolled.
It's so good because it's a 2. That means I can't use my halfling feature to re-roll it.
As Clyde closes his eyes and tosses out this dagger, it just hits perfectly to just rebound and go straight into his toe. Clyde, go and roll damage on your own dagger.
Oh, come on, max damage. Oh, min damage. It cuts in between my big toe and the other toe.
Oh. Jack Sparrow voice. Stop blowing holes in my friend!
In myself.
I've been trying to get us at least one question to ask.
Guys,
You
not
have
gotten
been excellent sports, and as far as I can tell, have answered questions honestly, which is appreciated yet a bit naive. So, I will answer one in return. If Clyde agrees to stop throwing knives.
I ain't got
Only
no
Clyde! I can keep throwing.
Pity question.
Nah, no. Gotta buy me another couple rounds.
Heal. And Roland will now raise a hand and call for another round.
Go ahead and mark off. Go and make our 2 copper for each round.
Clyde is going to wake up on a ship. He doesn't know where he is.
Again.
Not for the last time, I suspect, either.
So as this round comes, Greta has offered up a question for you all to ask of her.
Well, I got one. Miss Krita,
You go
what
ahead.
crew are you part of?
That's what you're going to use your question on? Are you just never mind. Go ahead.
If he asked out of us, it's only polite.
Cruise?
I'm sorry,
Hope
I
you
didn't
cut out
catch that.
there.
Are you familiar with all of the crews around?
I'm familiar with maybe 3 of them, and I think 2 of those groups don't really like me.
I will answer, but I'd be interested to know your guess first.
Well, I sure hope you aren't part of Barrymore's bastards, otherwise I've been real rude, and I'm gonna have to apologize, but not too much.
Like you apologized the first time.
No.
No,
That
you're
was a
safe
problem.
there. No apology necessary. I work with the Kuja, if you are familiar.
I
No secret.
wasn't till night. They got such a good dagger thrower like you, must be a damn fine crew. You don't even throw daggers in people's shoulders when the back's turned.
No, not tonight, no. Perhaps we'll be able to be the 4th crew you know of, and not add to the count of ones that have you as an enemy.
No, I think I'd like that. The return of the chair. Can I get the spelling of that, though? Because I am terrible.
Yeah, I got you.
Kuja.
Uja.
Fourth crew, Clyde knows.
And
What's your other question?
Roland, I will say that with the word of Kuja, you do know that this roughly translates to sea angel in Infernal.
I speak Infernal.
That's why I gave it to you. That's why I specified your name.
The Sea Angel. Okay.
Should I be worried?
So, the Sea Angel.
Roughly.
How did it come to have that name?
Well, let me see if that. Fairly new. A younger crew, a newer crew. But I think it probably is largely a result of the whole crew being female.
It is. It's like, wait, this sounds familiar. I think we saw the ship in port.
We did. We did. Ah, I see. Yes. I think I saw it in port. A very impressive ship. Huge.
But not an enemy, I hope. Not one of your three.
No, of course not. We would never make enemies with such a impressive crew.
That is wise, I think.
Okay. Moved that note from its own entry to underneath the Kuja. Oh, was that the one question, or are we still, talking?
I'm waiting on you. Clyde is at the fucking dartboard with a tankard in his hand.
Am I supposed to throw a
No!
net?
This time, I gotta be. You can't be throwing it when my back's turned.
Fair. Sorry, you turned as I threw, and it didn't work. Was that the one question? Did we get one each, or was it just the?
How much pity is she going to take on you two?
That's
depends.
Fine.
What
We're
other
getting so drunk,
questions
we won't
do you
remember
have?
This conversation tomorrow, anyway.
It's a solid backup plan. Any more questions you have?
That's an excellent question.
How much can you want to know already after such a short time here?
What are you most worried about at the draw?
Worried. Worried is for the ill-prepared.
All right, I'm gonna go write that down in a different notebook real quick.
That was probably the best possible answer that could have been given.
I'm not.
Hey. Well, with talk of the pirate killer ships being launched, there's rumors of bigger worries than these new weapons. I want to know
Maybe talk.
whether or not this area is worth staying in. Or if I should
Make
get
any
out.
area worth staying in. Do you have somewhere better to go?
There's always somewhere else to go.
Not necessarily better.
I'm trying to figure out if it is better.
Only place that's better is the one you make. Come on, throw that knife. Clyde downs his beer.
Go ahead and
I
give me
think
another roll.
if you look around,
This time
people
I
are
am
here-
aiming for the voice.
oh,
And Sam, if
No,
you want
I-
to finish your
I'm
thought.
Yeah, you're fishing.
no.
Is this you're trying to hit Clyde?
Oh no.
No, you're
What?
trying to hit Clyde.
What are you
Clyde is
doing?
going to gonna have to re-roll that. He's going to silvery barbs you as soon as he sees it coming towards his face.
The somatic components. Roland turns around and Clyde's just like,
No!
Okay, is that full reroll or reroll 1d20?
I think it's just you re-roll and take that.
No. Oh. Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Re-roll the
Must
d20 and use the lower roll.
Yeah, so just
Okay.
one d20, and it'll be between.
So off of the 15, use the roller lower. There we go.
Oh.
Just
Yeah. So Clyde
is
just
that one
calls
going on
out,
the
just
counter.
Hup! And with the raise of his hand, this silvery magic comes out, and the dagger seems to almost float into the air and goes up above his head.
Thank
Clyde's
you.
just gonna start giggling to himself as he's pretty far gone at this point.
What an interesting friendship.
I
me
only
to
know
throw, I
him
threw.
like a month. Tore my eyeball out.
That's true. I
And-
did perform surgery on his.
And just for a bit of context for Krita, Clyde is a very elderly halfling. Like, he has white hair and wrinkles, is at 3 feet tall with his kind of hunched back, and Roland is a slightly disfigured human man with an eye patch on. So they are, in general, a strange pair to begin with.
You're giving Pinky and the Brain vibes.
hmm He'll stand out in a crowd.
Oh shoot. That's the exact opposite of what I'm going for.
Wait a minute. If Clyde is 3 feet tall, how is he standing in front of knife
He
throwing
brought a
targets?
box.
He definitely brought like a stool over.
Yeah,
100%.
Standing on a chair.
Oh my goodness.
Can't take Clyde anywhere.
Alright, so you come into a new town. You don't want to make enemies. You clearly haven't taken the attract no attention route. So what's the game plan? Convince everybody you're not threats?
Take the punches as they come at us. Or knives as it was. Oh,
Hey.
oh no, that was that one time when it was that sea monster. That was pretty wild too.
That might be the better approach. Thank you for your wisdom. We're just along for the ride.
I miss my cart! Clyde is at that phase and
We're along for the ride. I watched a man drop dead in the streets today. I don't want to join him.
You said the man you saw lived.
I had a hand in that. He wouldn't have if I hadn't walked by.
What made you so sure he deserved to live?
He's human. He's sentient.
Humans die every day.
They do. That doesn't mean that any of them deserve to die from being stabbed in the back.
Hey!
What if one death could prevent 100?
Die! Sorry. He's loud. Especially when he's drunk.
I ask out of curiosity only. What's your position? What if one man's life saved 100?
Take it.
Take the life.
Take
So
the
they
life.
don't all deserve to live.
100 do.
Sure. But you're confident that the one you let live is going to do more good than harm?
Got manhandled off a cliff by, someone not particularly remarkable. I don't think that killing him was going to save 100 others.
Life is complicated.
I drank that! Clyde is horizontal on the floor with like a half a tanker just.
And curiously, what do you drink to?
Life being difficult. Not true words I ever heard.
Pretty sure she said complicated, but that tracks.
Yeah.
In this
brand.
moment, Clyde, I'd like you to make a Constitution at disadvantage, and Roland, if you could make me a Constitution save at just flat.
I stopped drinking!
I know this is recovery more so than anything.
Oh, yeah, so close.
I'm not gonna recover. I'm
believe.
gonna nat 1 and puke in the corner after not drinking.
That'd be embarrassing.
Oh, no, there you go.
Roland, over the next few minutes, as this conversation begins to find its natural end, you start to stabilize. But you see as Clyde over on the side has completely passed out and is starting to snore.
Even worse,
Wow.
you roll this, and after what Krita said, you have that like existential crisis.
If I kill Clyde, can I save 100 people?
If you're
Damn it, I
looking to
shouldn't
stay
have
out of
cast healing
trouble,
word.
I recommend you probably get him home for the evening.
That's a good call. What would you say?
What?
Kill one, save 100.
I would say that the right course of action, killing the one to save 100, may be right. Yet it doesn't let you off the hook for the one. You still owe a debt when you take a life.
I think you and I would be good friends.
Let us hope what not the kind of friendship you have with Bud, but perhaps.
No. The kind of friendship with someone else who understands the arithmetic. And the cost.
Life is opportunity cost. Nothing comes free. But that topic. It was a good night, a good game.
It was. So, the Kuja. That is where we could find you if we wanted to have another game?
You can find me around here.
Around here.
If you're around, perhaps I'll find you.
Well, we'll be around at least until after the draw. Pleasure meeting you, Krita. And he'll hold out a hand.
The pleasure is all mine.
And as he shakes her hand, he's going to remember her appearance.
Oh.
You slimy fuck.
Better not.
And with that,
Killed.
Roland, where are you taking Clyde?
I was like, you're just gonna leave Clyde.
Or are you leaving?
No, I'll pick Clyde up off the floor and, check with the bartender if he has an unsettled bill.
I think everything has been fairly accounted
I've
for.
been taking it off of mine.
Okay.
I've spent 3 gold tonight.
What are you gonna do
cool.
with Clyde?
If you hadn't, I was going to rifle through your pockets to pay the bill.
Saw that one coming a mile away.
And I'll walk him back to the ship.
Which ship?
Yeah, where are we sleeping?
One where the rest of the team is, the Azure Fox.
So the team is kind of scattered. Again, you saw Cade disappear somewhere. Theschault actually, I don't know where Theschault is, so we'll have to touch on that. Boko is kind of wandered off, and Jasira is with Tove in the hospital.
That's right.
Clearly, that expression says he's at the nearest brothel.
Yeah, as we break, where is the shot with a face like that?
No. But while we're walking, does Roland see the shot?
Also stumbling out of a bar.
Who knows? Found the nearest.
All right, well, my lovely lady, let me tell you another useful use for the power of steam.
The shot.
He's in the main lobby. Could you see it now? Copper pipes all over this place.
It's incredible.
So after so Boko had kind of led the fusing of the prosthetic onto Tove. After that, Jasira stayed with Tove, and Boko kind of wandered away. And Theschault and Roland had also kind of taken off on a path. Where would Theschault have gone?
Let's see. I mean, as long as we, so what? She's still in recovery, or I guess
Yeah, she is still unconscious.
Okay. Well, who else stayed here then? You said Boko and then...
Everyone kind of scattered and went their own ways. Boko kind of went off, Jasira stayed, Clyde and Roland headed off in one direction, Sindri kind of went another.
I mean, I'd probably stay, honestly. I mean, I don't think it's, not that I don't trust Jasira, but it's, I just don't think it's good to leave a single person by themselves trying to protect somebody who's recovering in case, the worst comes to worst. Plus, honestly, I'm mostly curious about the results of the procedure anyway.
Yeah, go ahead and make me an investigation check. Actually.
Sure.
I would also love to have a conversation with Theschault about what he thinks of the way that was handled.
And Theschault, you were able to observe this, and in the moment, it was incredibly quick. It happened in under a minute. As Boko had kind of sliced this, opened up the leg, and fused the bone and the metal and the organic material. And you look across, and it's clean. This is done with a trained hand. This is something that has been done multiple times. The wound itself has been cleaned over and has been fused with the organic material, where it almost looks like the vines are growing out of the flesh now. And the prosthetic is incorporated into the body. It's not added onto it. But there's also something... It resonates with some magic. And you remember seeing the pulsing purple energy that kind of got absorbed from the eels, went up Boko's arm and was fused into this. And you're not quite sure in this moment how to feel about that.
No, I am not.
But Jasira is kind of standing by, kind of resting with Tove.
I do imagine that that Jasira and Murgle are very busy tending to Tove.
Yes,
because that procedure is excruciatingly painful for many days.
Oh, that's not good.
and while Murgle was able to hold the pain of the initial minute-long procedure, the stuff afterwards came full force. And so yes, they have been fully in kind of tending. Jasira kind of close to her face with a cool rag. Murgle kind of doing what she can with poultices and other herbal remedies to try and ease the pain and create these tinctures.
Also, side note, if you don't mind, and Jasira would like to make note of the herb she's using so she can kind of expand her material plane herbal knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't even have to make a roll for that.
Cool. Future note.
I guess I'd just if they're using towels and whatnot, I'd probably just swallow canisters of water and just kind of be looking at the recovery procedure, just thinking over everything that has to do with it. And if they're busy, then yeah, that's fine. Probably just let them do their thing and just let's take a look at my own equipment and then ponder what in the world this could even mean. If because of that here, then I think I just probably think of myself just wondering, because I mean this is fairly clearly necromancy, right? Or at least some form of it.
To you, it certainly seems so, yeah.
But looking at her leg, it looks like it hasn't been turned into some sort of monstrosity.
It depends entirely on how you define monstrosity.
It sounded like it was pretty clean, so it's not like, it's turned into, something crazy or creepy or, or at least not to a degree where it'd be unrecognizable as a human limb.
I mean, it is. It is metal and organics. It does not look humanoid at all. It looks more like a ball of roots and kind of this wrapped around metal. It is this conglomeration that looks functional, but does not look human.
It's a Boko vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, but no more so than Boko already has, then.
Correct, but Boko doesn't exactly look very humanoid himself.
Well,
at least in certain areas.
But I guess I never realized how Boko was put together until a moment like this.
Exactly.
Well, on the one hand, it certainly looks odd, out of place, and strange. Maybe I just got used to it with Boko, but on the other hand, she's alive. My assumption is that she'll eventually be able to stand on her own two legs again and walk. That's certainly better off than I could ever expect from most professionals that I've ever worked with. I just don't know.
And as Theschault kind of wrestles with this, is he going to rest that evening at the hospital?
Yeah, I'll probably take a bit to rest. Just sleep on it. Try and think a little more. Because eventually I'd probably like to speak with Boko when he returns.
Okay. And Jasira, are you taking your trance there? within the hospital?
Yeah, she'll probably do the trance a little towards the end. So effectively she can kind of have like
a long
an early
evening.
watch. Yeah.
Oh, actually, if Jasira does have a free moment, I wouldn't mind speaking with her a little bit as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess just in between, trying to soak some more of the rags, just ask her. So, how do you feel about this?
It was quite the decision. Because Boko presented two options. It was provide the prosthetic via magic or without magic. He emphasized that the without magic would be more painful, but Tove, probably not unlike yourself, would not necessarily be thrilled how the magic route went. But it was less pain. Still painful, but less.
And for the record, did we do magic or non-magic?
Magic.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that was the souls of the eels that were utilized in the process.
Oh wait, I saw her do that too with the gem.
You saw Boko.
I didn't do the eels. That was
Boko killed the eels and essentially
I
put their essence into the process.
You held down. Yeah. We were holding down limbs. Is what's happening.
I guess Theschault would probably have an understanding of it, though, as it is sort of artifice.
Right, at least to a basic degree. But I mean, as far as using eel souls as a conduit, that's certainly a little bit beyond my normal expertise.
I think, though, Theschault would be very knowledgeable in the application of it, although the materials would be very different. Essentially, the eels were more of a source of power, whereas some people use electricity, some people use fire to join materials.
Some people use steam, heat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Boko just used the essence, the soul of these creatures, coaxed it into the bone, and let the eels slither their way into the mechanism to combine the two, and then did the same thing in reverse with the organics. So it was this combination of organics growing into the mechanism to allow that thing to function. And then the mechanism that you designed resides within.
Right. It's odd, I suppose. I mean, everything makes sense if you look at it strictly from an assembly standpoint, but I don't know. I've seen many sources of power, some more functional than others. I don't think that I've ever seen souls employed in such a way. Or at least what I've come to believe are, souls? Right?
Yeah, I can't say much for how they're used, other than where I'm from, it is a source of power. We use it to run our everyday lives. So it was only natural to use this for her prosthetic.
So, using it as if it's electricity, or, I mean...
Something like that. Once someone dies here, we harvest their soul there. And then we reuse it.
That's rather macabre to think about.
The whole place is macabre. Why do you think I wear this depressing mask? And I just made it a little cutesy with the flower.
I figured perhaps that you just either enjoyed it or it was part of your culture? I don't really know if I was sure as to which one it was.
Why not both?
I mean, I suppose that's a good point. We all kind of come from different backgrounds. I'm sure some of the things that I do are plenty strange to you folk, and vice versa.
It's certainly different. Not bad, but different.
Right. Not bad, but different.
Exactly. And that's why I figured, above all else, Tove would want her second leg.
Right. Perhaps it's just a matter of me evaluating that those two terms that you utilized, bad, different, maybe get conflated a little too much in my own mind. Or maybe it's an application.
Perhaps Boko can shed some light for you when he gets back. It's been a busy day.
For sure. But I wanted to hear your side of it as well. After all, clearly she's a good friend of yours.
Certainly we'll talk about this when she wakes.
And in the meantime... Sorry, was there something else, Noah?
No.
Okay. In the meantime, Boko, as you've kind of wandered off on your own, is there anything that you're doing before you reach your rest?
Severely regretting not replacing those safeguards and neglecting them for so long, and thinking about what's in store for him tomorrow during the ritual. That's it.
Do you sleep outside?
Yes.
Okay. Eventually, the Schultz... Yeah.
Oh, sorry, safeguards for what?
To find out.
You're not sure.
Yeah.
Doubt.
Yeah, the show eventually, the weariness of the day and all that you all have experienced throughout this day catches up to you, and you do find a spot within the hospital to kind of sit and rest. And Jasira, you have a few moments with Tove.
Yeah, she's just going to stand by, like, up towards her head. And just kind of put her hand over her Tove's. Presumably either at her side, on her stomach, wherever her hands may lay. Forgive me for this. I hope the pain is manageable. We lessened it as much as we could, and will continue to do so. I hope you see it was the best choice. And then she'll just kind of step back and sit down on the floor or chair or whatever and begin her meditation.
As your meditation begins, like all nights, for you, it's not one of awareness or really meditation, but of a deep inset focus, and the world starts to drift and everything seems to go dark as you focus in on yourself, that central location. You feel this moment of focus around what had happened. There's this conflict within you that burns, this feeling that presses you. You're unsure exactly what Tove will think of all of this, but it causes your mind to swirl in the darkness there. As the night has worn on, Roland, you begin to pull Clyde down the streets. Are you two headed back to the hospital area where you had last left everyone, or are you going elsewhere?
How bad is Clyde?
He's asleep. Nearly unconscious. But lightweight.
So I know that Cade has expressed a firm preference for the Azure Fox.
Oh, good.
Tove
Roland's
and
not just
Jasira
going
are
to throw
currently
Clyde into the bay.
Do what?
He's not just going to throw Clyde into the bay.
Ooh, I have an opportunity here. dagger comes out. No. But that's still a crew that I don't know. Tove and Jasir are at the hospital. That's where I left a fair number of people, but they scattered from there. I'm gonna take Clyde back to the Morrigan. That's where I know he has friends, and I am decently confident I'll be safe.
All right. You begin making your way back towards the main harbor. And Kreda, as you watch these figures depart, you're feeling the effects of the night as well. What are you doing?
Well, there's still work to be done tonight. I can at least report in and see what the information I've gathered tonight is valued at. So particularly, I'm sure somebody at least wants to know that their assassination target is still alive. So, see what sort of coin I can fetch for that information.
Excuse me?
You're not there.
I love it when you drop like 100 hints and it still comes to the final reveal that it hits him in the face.
Damn it, Noah.
However, I don't have anything definitive on this new group in town yet, so I'll hold that. They haven't... I don't know how many they are, or what they're here for. They don't seem to pose an immense threat, and they don't seem to have
Watch out for Captain
gold
Cade at
spilling
the draw.
from their pockets.
Yeah, we dropped Cade's name as a cat. Oh,
Good old Cassie.
I hope it gets said in front of her mom too.
no,
not mom.
we don't know that.
Or not mom.
The butterfly effect of a single bar conversation.
Oh, so good.
Kreda, go ahead.
Saying loose lips sink ships.
Go ahead and make me a perception check at disadvantage, if you don't mind.
Who's up to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oof.
It's late in the night, and you find yourself wanting to get back to report. And indeed, you do find your way over to where the Kuja have parked the storm fortress, and make your report in there for some of the information. But the night seems quiet and cool. Roland and unconscious Clyde, the two of you are making your way back down towards the Morrigan, and Clyde's snores are ringing out, and Roland, your thoughts and perception is slowly coming back to you, and you can see from the shadows steps a figure, and as your vision clarifies, you can see that there is purpose there. And then suddenly, in the glint of the moonlight, a blade is there. And you hear a voice, low but with purpose. One wrong move. One sound that is a little too loud. And you and your friend will not make it a step further. Looking at this figure in front of you, you suddenly see as other shadows are surrounding them. Go ahead and make me a perception check at disadvantage in this darkness and your slightly recovered state.
You said my faculties are coming back, yeah, but it's still dark out, that's why I can't see.
Yeah, it's like dim light in this, and so you get a perception check to try and pick up details, but it is still at disadvantage to try and pick up anything that stands out about this figure.
I'm going to let Clyde sink down, raise a hand up, swipe it up over my head, and pull off the eye patch, as my eye will flash black as I activate dark vision.
Okay.
And still not won the check.
No. You can't say that. We've had a bunch of 20s tonight. Hey,
There's your 20. In this flash, seeing the movement of your hand, this figure is on you. And before you can
very slowly, he's just pulling the eye patch off. Like, he's not dropping Clyde and then ripping.
Yep.
He's just...
Speed does not matter in this moment. Seeing your arm move at all, this figure in a snap has closed the 20-foot distance to you, and there is now a blade held up inches from you. Again, it's not... If he wanted to start initiative, this entity would have. But you can see that they mean to show you that they are not fooling around with whatever they are doing, and you now get a glimpse of this figure. It's difficult to tell, not so much because you can't see, but because of the ambiguity of the features, whether this human is male or female. But their half-shaved head has this about shoulder-length brown blonde hair. Their forehead has these streaks of red lines that go down to piercings along their lip. A thick, bear-like pelt covers their shoulders, and a long blue cape hangs down their back. You can see at least the front of one skull where a long blade hangs at their side, and in one hand they have a blade, in the other they have a small dagger held up to your inches from your throat. And you can see a few other figures now stepping forward from the shadows, and you see at least two of them have that thick red beard.
I'll just kind of very calmly glance down at the dagger. I haven't moved. A fine blade. I'm sure you've noticed I carry several of my own, which I have not drawn.
This is why you are still alive. No.
I have an interest in remaining so.
Good. You purloined a certain piece from one of our individuals here. We would like it back.
Piece? Purloined?
And with a nod of her head, the figures approach slowly, distinctly. These red-bearded individuals, two of them begin to slowly kind of lift up Clyde's cloak, looking through his bag, looking over. Some of them begin to reach out towards you, and this figure's eyes never leave yours, looking for intention. And they don't seem to be aggressive, but they are looking and searching. And eventually one of them does find this large scroll on Clyde and kind of pulls it up and holds it.
There goes your body pillow.
And with a flick of her eyes for this moment, or of their eyes for this moment, Roland, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw here.
Great. Yeah.
With this quick words...
I would rather have that been the 19 than the perception check.
Have any of you looked at it? And without you even needing to answer, Roland, you feel this surge and your brain for a moment hurts, and the person just smiles and slowly takes a few steps back as the others start to slink into the shadows. And
I'm more surprised that you admit to owning it.
And with the tip of the dagger, they flow back into the darkness.
Well, this night was a normal night for Clyde at the bar, but now it's a disaster.
He's gonna haul Clyde back to his feet, drag him along, and just kind of whisper like, you know, I handed that off to you and didn't care about it before, but I care about it now and I want it back. And he'll walk him back to the ship.
All right. The two of you make it back to the Morgan, and there is not any other issues upon your journey. Though I will, as we're here, since you did have a solid perception check on that, I will give you this one, as this is the figure that you all interacted with, and upon inquiring with the crew of the Morgan, you would have definitely been able to find their description and match it to the name.
Oh, good. Clyde was singing a song about this person earlier tonight.
Wait, was this the one you were singing about?
One of the four.
Yeah.
He's one of Barmore's crew, spoken of with much dread.
Yep. I don't have many notes, but I've got Barmore's bastards in my notes and their names.
Then there's Etienne Leroux, who's the huge guy with the red beard who you spit in his face.
Exactly.
Jean-Francois Leroux, which was his brother with black gloves and very basically
I think you're
if Snape
combining two. So Jean-Francois was the red-bearded one who came up at the end and was nearly about to strike with lethal intent before he was stopped by Magnus. The one with the greasy hair and the black gloves was Muta. That was a different individual.
I never got the name Muta.
I don't think you ever got the name. I think it was just shared. You guys should have the Crimson Haze in your massive folder list somewhere in the named NPCs. And so you should be able to access those, I think. If not, I'll figure out how to get access. But that was one of the ones that was shown in the fight.
Okay.
Crew.
Yeah, no, the name was given and then the description of Muta was immediately following, so I equated the two.
Yep, that might have been my bad. But yeah, those are two different individuals. Jean-Francois looks very similar to his brother Etienne, just a little bit older, and his beard is a little bit wilder.
Hey, I didn't get shanked. That could have been bad.
So
yeah, I could have pulled my daggers out and tried to fight.
Upon the morning sun beginning to come in, to Clyde and Roland, for many a reason, it is a rough morning. But for Boko, it is one that has come with some preparation. As the morning rays hit, what are you doing?
Boko would probably wake up just before the sun rose to try to take advantage of the darkest portion of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And when he sort of wakes up from this very light sleep that's plagued by many strange thoughts, Boko will wake up and will don a familiar armor. So he'll reach into his bag and he'll pull out his cloak and also the skull helmet that he pulls down over his face, and he is going to set about and take 10 minutes to try to commune. This time, rather than using somebody else's blood and acting as a conduit, Boko is going to use his own to start the ritual. And rather than roll on the table by calling out to somebody, Boko is approaching this much more as being receptive to whatever spirits spirit or spirits approach, and is very specifically keeping watch for any signs of a very specific individual.
Boko, I would like you to go ahead and roll me either an Arcana check or a Persuasion check.
Bad do I want this to be?
Yes. It can't be worse than me.
I say we go with the story.
So as you begin to reach out, searching for these various connections that you have, what is your desire behind it? What are you searching for?
So, in all of Boko's teachings, he has always been told, he has always been warned that in a connection to the spirits, one must always be impartial and one must always serve as a conduit. That taking use of them yourself or not completing a bargain made is what equates to as almost like an unforgivable sin. And Boko has since done this many times. And currently is searching for the impact this is having.
As you extend out, this darkness enwraps you. It feels similar, but you feel different. You are searching for something different. And as these spirits begin to surround you, these entities of various colors, green and red and yellow, you try to reach out to them, but they seem out of reach. You're trying to be receptive, and yet you only know how to call for them. And without calling for them, it seems like they are always at a distance, and your answers lay out of grasp. In this moment of meditation, you see as the colors start to darken, as each one moves from their various rainbow chromatic tone to bleeding this light pink as it fades to a dark violet. Each of them begin to burn with this purple flame as it wraps around each of the spirits as they disperse further and further into the darkness. And as they start to fade, their colors drawing down the light, you can see these far distant circles of another light. That same light purple. And as they grow dimmer and dimmer, the eyes become clearer and clearer. What you know of this entity that is watching. You see this thing surrounding you. As the spirits are driven from you, this entity remains. The darkness has completely consumed the spirits that had danced, and now all that remains is these two orbs of light. What is Boko doing?
I have an interpretation of this, but I don't think I'm going to like the answer. Boko is immediately, without any safeguards, without anything, severing the connection and rising to his feet and sprinting to the hospital.
As you rise to your feet, the darkness still surrounds you. And you turn in any direction that you look, those eyes are there. And they begin to grow brighter and brighter. The more that you try to fight this, the more that you try to run, they begin to grow in that burning. And finally, the darkness shatters, and you look upon a building that is on fire. There is flame that is burning out of it, and for a moment your heart sinks thinking that it's the hospital, but thankfully it does not seem to be. But a building off to the side is ablaze, and you can hear the calls of people trying to put it out. For a moment your heart stops before your legs continue on towards the hospital.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Yeah, I'm going to keep going for the hospital. And I'm going to burst through that door and immediately go for Tove's prosthetic.
As you move through the door, you see that Jasira is kind of just coming to, has kind of just woken up and is tending to Tove, and Theschault is kind of slumped in the corner, not quite risen yet.
Does him bursting through the door not wake me up?
This is more of an impromptu shelter, so bursting through the door is all of like pushing open a tent flap.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like slamming open the door. It's like, no.
Yeah, so it's not quite as dramatic as it might sound. But yeah, he begins to come in. And in this process, I'll say that you are waking up. But Boko, is there anything that you're doing?
I am rushing straight to Tove's side and ripping the bandages off of the prosthetic and looking for signs of rot.
Jasira, what are you doing? Are you doing anything in response to this?
Well, what the fuck I think seems to be the way to handle this. What the fuck is up with that? Boko.
Boko, you said this was the safer option.
I heard.
I never said that.
Pain.
I never said that.
So yeah, no, I think she would just say, "What the fuck is up with that?" To see if she gets any sort of inkling if she needs to be like helping right now, or if she needs to be like, "Yo, are you off your rocker?"
Is it supposed to look like that?
Boko,
you're a bad trip. Is her lake black? Like, what's going on?
Very calmly.
Yeah.
Boko just responds, "There is a fire in the village." That's it.
And Boko, make me an investigation check.
Can Jasira insight that statement to see if she can get anything other than surface info from that?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure.
Am I aware of this? Like,
yeah, you're starting to come to, and you kind of look up. You see Boko and Jasira standing there looking down at Tove, but for the moment, it doesn't seem like there's anything unusual. But you're starting to kind of focus in and try and hear what's going on. So you're starting to get there. Boko, is there anything?
So I don't hear him speaking yet. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, you're just starting to gain that, so you'll kind of pick that up from here on out. But Boko, is there anything that Jasira gets from this?
Boko, probably for the first time, is visibly shaken. And you can see as he pulls the bandages back and goes in with the tools, his hands are shaking. And he's actually using tools. Before, he was not.
Well, if that's the case, she won't even wait for Theschault to finish. Be like, Theschault, we need you.
Need me for I'm just gonna kind of like, why is that around? Is like, for what?
Theschault, you come over and stumble. Jasira, you come up. Boko, your hands are there. And the leg looks fine. The vines are bright green. The metallic sheen is still shiny. There's still silver in the dagger. The leg itself looks about as healthy as something that has just had surgery on it can look. And for a moment, you're all kind of confused, looking for, where's the fire?
Wait, the fire?
He said something about a village fire.
What?
You see him?
Right now?
Yeah, Boko looks at the Theschault and he goes, yes, there is some sort of fire that has broken out in the village. I think you are the best suited to assist.
Yeah, I'd say so, as I start equipping the steam mech machine parts on me. And I guess I will go out and see if I can't find the fire immediately.
All right.
So, because I'd like to try and put it out. I mean, I have the ability to pump a lot of water onto things.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. Theschault, you rush out as quickly as you can. And Jasira, you're left with Boko, who's kind of standing there a bit stunned in this moment.
She sees him visibly assessing how the leg and how the prosthetic is working and going. Is there any way that, because this is technically soul magic, if Jasira could try to pick up on if there's like a weird aura, or if magic energy isn't doing what it's supposed to? I'm kind of on a reach here, but I'm not really sure how to word it.
You can give me an arcana or a medicine, whatever you're looking for more.
Oh. I like medicine. Medicine sounds good. I trust medicine.
So as this kind of shock has hit you and you see Boko is visibly affected by something, and to be honest, you've been feeling this tossing and turning within your own persona this whole night. It's been kind of raging inside of you, and you look and search for anything, but looking at the leg, looking at Tove, she almost looks comfortable in this moment. Her fever has kind of broken. The pain has numbed due to prolonged exposure, and the wound seems clean. You don't know what is up with Boko, but everything that you're visibly seeing is telling you that she's fine. At least as fine as someone who just lost their leg could be.
Right. What are you seeking? She's just looking at Boko. What do you think is wrong with her leg? Or possibly wrong?
Boko's going to put his tool down and he's going to wheel on Jasira. And he's going to say, I need you to be honest with me for a minute. Have you ever seen one of these before?
The prosthetic?
This one specifically with organics.
You are all I've seen.
Boko sits there for a minute and he says, this is the fourth that I have ever made. 2 are on my body. 1 is here in this room with us.
Mm-hmm.
But there is the third. And I have yet to find it.
But you made it. How don't you know where it is?
Because it was taken from me. I need a favor from you.
Okay. Elaborate.
The city that I was taken from during the attack with the ship. The one with the large tower of artifice. Do you recall?
I wasn't quite there. I was like just outside of town, but Karnath, right?
I think it was Karlacton.
Ah, see, that's the country. Your girl was in the country of Karnath. At least she knows.
The city of England. I know it well.
I mean, this tracks. She's not from here. It doesn't matter.
That tracks.
Yes, that.
There is a very small village. Some days' travel. I want you to accompany me there.
From here? Or from
What?
the town?
Once we reach the mainland, it will be my first stop. If we arrive safely, I will tell you more.
All right. I'll first.
Also, when Tove awakens, she may not want to speak to me. But if she complains of a pain from within the mechanism, not one of bone or one of skin, but one of metal, you must let me know immediately. It is imperative. You understand?
She'll just nod.
And at this point, Theschault, you have been fighting the fire, and it's beginning to die down.
Good.
Clyde and Roland, in somewhat of a stupor, you have seen the smoke and heard the sounds and have made it towards the hospital. Concerned that it could be the hospital, especially Roland, who just got threatened the night before, that your friends are in danger, but you see Theschault kind of fighting it, and you can see Jasira and Boko within the hospital itself.
I have the power to create water and aqua jets. Hooray!
It
literally
people
is a
have the power to
firefighter.
create water. You're being too loud.
Hello? I just pointed.
I just told you you're being too loud, and you got louder.
My apologies. Let me tell you what's currently happening. There's a building on fire in front of me.
And at this point,
I'm aiming
Theschault,
west.
with you and the others, the fire has died down for the most part. It is now just trying to recover and repair and keep everything safe.
It's got better.
I got better.
Now it's just a matter of them making sure that everybody is all right or whatever happened here. Though I don't think I've ascertained the source of the fire yet.
I'm sure it had something to do with some pirate shenanigans that we need to get far away from.
I feel like every pirate shenanigans thus far has usually been either our involvement or our doing. Just to throw that out there.
Welcome to a city full of pirates, all of
The
whom
shot Roland
are more-
here don't handle his alcohol real well.
Hey, Clyde. They said for you to be. You've got to be
I don't
quiet.
handle my alcohol. You were a...
You lost
Ow.
my poster and you
Ow.
stabbed
Ow.
me.
I saved your life.
That's what they always say after they lose my shit.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Yes. People just came out of nowhere wanting that poster. If he wanted it back, he could have just asked.
Oh, so you were awake.
No, but I'm sure if I don't have my poster. Did you not tell Clyde that something happened?
I would have told Clyde.
And Clyde does not believe you at all.
How they figured out that it was me that took it, I have no freaking clue. Why you had it on you instead of it still being safe in Boko's bag of hold. Oh, this is taking too much.
There's a lot going on
Are
here.
there people still in there?
I am currently trying to figure that out. I'm not the one that should go save them. I'm currently equipped with all of this. If they need me to, fine. But no, there's people that... I assume there's people that are actually going into
Yes, there are multiple people helping with this. It is a whole community rescue at this moment.
Good. Then my
He's
job is good.
checking around for anyone who's been brought out unconscious, and he'll spare the dying on them.
Okay.
But
I think I can do that too, actually. Maybe. Hold on.
Don't
Steve.
take
You
my
just go up
shtick.
to while the
I don't actually think I have it. No, I do have it. But I'll let you do it.
You feel better.
He is the firefighter.
That is the kind of medic that Roland is just don't die.
Yeah, I can do mending and spare the dying, so that's my... I got it, don't worry. No, actually, you got the spare the dying part. If anybody needs anything mended, you just
I can also do mending and spare the dying.
Nice. Alright, good stuff. We got redundancy. We love it.
And guidance.
I pictured
my
Roland.
cleric.
I pictured Roland as more of a merciful touch, and Theschault as like a heartfelt plea. Do not leave this civilian,
Please.
Leaves behind a packet for steam powered.
Join my company now that you're alive again.
Life was saved by steam.
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
But yes, as you all
Steam-powered defibrillator.
as you all are near here now to the hospital, needing still to track down Sindri and Cade, but on the morning of when you were all supposed to head out for the draw, you have a few hours here left on the island. And that is where we'll pick up next week. But before we do, Krita, you have found your way back to the Storm Fortress where you had spent the night, had done your initial report and had slept off the alcohol. And making your way back up to the deck, you see the bosun, who is kind of leaning up against the mast, her brilliant golden saber on her side, tattoos down her sleeveless arms, a cigarette in her mouth, and kind of a partially drunk bottle of rum as she kind of turns to look at you. And you see that Karis here is kind of giving you an eye up and down. How'd you sleep?
Well as ever.
Are you going to be coming with us to the draw then, or are you staying here?
Is it a choice, or is there an order?
This one's a choice.
I don't know that I have the background to make an informed and not arbitrary choice.
For the most part, it is indeed arbitrary.
Okay.
It's just how we'll handle certain things. It's mostly whether Krita would have any interest in the governance and the captain's meeting that occurs. And this one seems to be particularly special as many of the crews are going along with them. Or if she would prefer to stay and operate on the island and interact with people there. But many of the pirates are kind of going off to this particular draw, which is unusual.
That makes sense. I'll accompany. The bars are open every night. This is a special occasion. New things to see.
She just kind of nods. Well, we'll be departing in a few hours. If you have any business, best get to it. And spins upon her heel, kind of heading back to the deck. And as we get to next session, you all will have the morning hours before you all depart for the draw. And with that, we'll go ahead and close out with a bit of a narrative. But before we do, actually, we'll do that. We'll do that after. We'll do the narrative here first. Society has rules. It decides where you belong and what you are worth. But there is a choice. The ability to chart a new course, even when death seems a certainty. Deciding never to give up. Elle had carved a life of her own choice, deciding to fight under her own flag to take what she believed to be hers, trying to take on the world, to not be defined by the rules of society, but deciding herself what she was worth. In this new life, there was only one rule: first come, first serve. It was dog eat dog. She and her crew, along with the other pirates that dwelled in these waters, became queens, kings, lords, and masters of their own world. Fortunes poured down upon them. The old world had had their empire. Now it was their turn. Enemies became friends. Friends became enemies. The best didn't trust anybody. And the philosophy of the day was more and more. Alone at the top of the food chain. Well, that was what they thought. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight, and thank you for Sam for coming in and doing one of our guest spots. She'll be joining us at least for next week, so we look forward to that. And make sure you guys come in and check that out. We'll see you then.